Hello, and a warm welcome back to the USA English Podcast. We're absolutely delighted to have you here with us today. I'm Erica.
And I'm Marco. This is the Leo English Podcast, where we help you learn conversational English through simple, natural, real-life dialogue. We want English to feel useful, clear, and achievable every day.
Today, we're talking about daily English conversation practice and how to speak English naturally every day. That is a very important topic.
Yes, it is. Many English learners study grammar, memorize vocabulary, and listen to podcasts, but they still feel nervous when it's time to actually speak.
Yes, they know a lot, but when a real conversation starts, their brain suddenly goes quiet.
Exactly. So today, we'll talk about how to practice speaking in a natural way, how to build daily habits, and how to make English part of normal life.
We'll also share simple speaking routines, useful phrases, and practical tips that real learners can use.
If you enjoy learning with us, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. Yes, like and subscribe. It really helps us grow and make more lessons.
All right, let's get started. Marco, how are you doing today?
I'm good, but I feel a little silly.
Silly? Why?
Because this morning I practiced English while making coffee.
That sounds useful, not silly.
It started useful, then I looked at my coffee and said, "Today you are too emotional." Yes, it was too strong.
That is a very Marco morning.
Thank you. How are you today?
I'm doing well. I feel calm because I had a quiet morning.
Quiet mornings are powerful.
They really are. What did you do this weekend?
On Saturday, I met a friend who was learning English. We tried to speak English together for 20 minutes.
Really? How did it go?
Pretty well, actually. We made mistakes, but we kept going. At one point, he forgot the word ladder and said the climbing stairs thing.
That is actually a good communication strategy.
Yes, it was funny, but it worked. What about you? What did you do this weekend?
On Sunday, I practiced English with one of my students. We didn't study grammar for 1 hour. We just talked about food, work, family, and weekend plans.
That sounds more natural.
It was, and she told me something important. She said, "I feel more relaxed when English feels like life, not like school."
Oh, that is really good.
Yes, speaking of natural English, daily habits, and real conversation, today's topic is perfect.
Yes, let's help everyone speak English more naturally every day.
Okay, Marco, let's start with the most basic question. Why do many learners find speaking harder than reading or listening?
I think speaking feels more public.
That is very true. When you read, nobody watches you. When you listen, nobody waits for your answer. But when you speak, there is pressure.
Exactly. Speaking happens in real time. You cannot stop for 5 minutes and build the perfect sentence.
Well, you can, but the conversation may die.
Yes, that is the problem. So the first lesson is that speaking needs a different kind of practice.
Correct. Reading helps, listening helps, vocabulary helps, but speaking improves most when you actually speak.
That sounds obvious, but many people still avoid it.
Yes, some people spend years preparing to speak instead of speaking.
Ah, the famous "I'm almost ready" problem.
Exactly. I think fear is part of it too.
Very much. Learners often fear mistakes, silence, pronunciation problems, or not knowing the right word.
I do that too in other languages. My brain says, if it isn't perfect, do not open your mouth, and that is not helpful.
No, it is not. Real speaking becomes easier when you accept something important. Mistakes are normal.
Say that again for the nervous people. Mistakes are normal.
Beautiful. Even strong speakers make mistakes. They pause, restart, use simpler words, and correct themselves.
Wait, what does restart mean here?
It means begin the sentence again. For example, I go there I went there yesterday.
Ah, okay. So restarting is not failure, it's part of communication.
Exactly. So if speaking is a skill, how do we train it daily?
We start small and make it regular.
That sounds very organized.
Thank you. It works. 10 minutes every day is often better than one long session once a week.
Really?
Yes, short daily practice helps your brain stay connected to the language.
I like that phrase, stay connected.
Yes, if English disappears from your day for many days, speaking feels heavy again, like a machine that sits too long.
That is a useful image. So what can someone do in those 10 minutes?
Many things. They can answer one common question. They can describe their morning. They can talk about what they see around them. They can repeat useful phrases out loud. They can record a short voice memo.
I do the describe the room thing sometimes.
Really?
Yes, I walk around and say, this is my desk, it's messy, but I know where things are. This is my chair, it makes me look productive.
The chair makes you look productive?
Yes, the chair tries hard.
That is funny, but also useful practice. It helps because I don't need special material. I just use real life.
Exactly. Real life gives you endless speaking topics.
That might be one of the biggest lessons today.
I agree. Learners often think speaking practice must be formal or difficult, but daily conversation practice can be simple, like talking about breakfast, weather, work, plans, tiredness, hobbies, or what happened yesterday.
Yes, those are all excellent daily topics.
I think another problem is that people want advanced English too early.
That is true. They may want to sound impressive before they sound comfortable, so they learn very hard words but cannot answer, "What do you usually do after work?"
Exactly. Natural speaking grows from useful everyday patterns, not from rare, difficult vocabulary.
What do you mean by patterns?
I mean sentence shapes that you can use again and again, like I usually, most of the time. It depends. One thing I like is, I'm trying to.
Exactly. Those are speaking patterns. They help you begin and continue. So instead of building every answer from zero, you use a familiar shape.
Yes, that makes speaking faster and calmer.
I really like that idea. It feels practical.
It is. Let's take one question. What do you do in your free time?
Okay. One answer pattern is, in my free time, I usually, then you add the activity. So, in my free time, I usually read, go for walks, and listen to music.
Perfect. Another pattern could be, I'm really into.
Yes. For example, I'm really into cooking these days, or I'm really into short podcasts. That sounds natural because it is. Native speakers use these patterns all the time.
Wait, what does these days mean exactly?
It means recently, in the current period.
Ah, useful. So I can say, these days, I'm trying to speak English more often.
Exactly. Let's talk about daily speaking routines. If a learner says, I want to practice every day, but I don't know how, what routine would you suggest?
I would suggest a simple 3-part routine.
Of course you would. Very organized.
Thank you. First, speak for 2 or 3 minutes about your day. Second, answer one common question. Third, repeat 2 useful phrases 5 times each.
Oh, that's good. For example, part 1, today I woke up at 7. I feel tired, but okay. I drank tea and answered emails. Part 2, answer a question like, what are you working on these days? Part 3, repeat phrases like, I'm working on and I'm trying to.
That feels doable.
It is. The goal is not performance. The goal is contact with the language.
I think that idea is really important. Contact with the language.
Yes, speaking should become something normal, not something rare and scary.
I notice that when English stays in my day, even in small ways, I feel less afraid of it.
Exactly. Frequency matters.
Frequency means how often something happens, right?
Correct. So 5 minutes every day can help more than 50 minutes once in a while.
Very often, yes. Another thing I notice is that learners freeze because they think too much before speaking.
That's a big one. They often check grammar, vocabulary, and pronunciation at the same time, which is too much for one sentence.
Exactly. Real conversation needs movement. If you stop too long, the pressure grows.
So, what should people do instead?
Use simpler English and keep going.
That sounds easy, but emotionally it's hard.
True, but it helps to remember that communication is the goal, not perfection.
There it is again, the important sentence.
Yes, communication first, perfection later. Maybe much later.
Maybe never.
Honestly, also true. What about translation? A lot of learners still think in their first language first.
Yes, and that slows speaking down. If you build a full sentence in one language and then try to translate it, conversation becomes heavy.
So how do we reduce that habit?
By using more ready-made English chunks.
Chunks again. Very important word.
Very important. Chunks are groups of words that stay together often, like, to be honest, I'm not sure. The good thing is, at the moment, and that reminds me.
Exactly. If you learn and use chunks, your brain has less work to do.
So instead of translating a full idea, I can begin with a chunk I already know.
Yes, then the sentence can grow more naturally.
I think let me think is one of the best chunks.
Absolutely. That one gives you time and sounds natural.
Also, it depends.
Yes, that one is very helpful too.
Can we talk about how to sound more natural, not just more correct?
Good point. Natural English often includes small reactions, short connector phrases, and conversation signals, like, really, I see, that's interesting. Oh, I do that too.
Exactly. These small phrases help conversation flow. I think learners focus too much on big answers and forget small reactions.
That happens a lot, but real conversation is full of short responses. So if someone tells me, I went hiking this weekend, I don't need a perfect long answer. I can first say, really, how was it?
Exactly. That is natural speaking.
That feels much easier than trying to say something brilliant.
Because most real conversation is not brilliant. It is simple, responsive, and alive.
That is such a comforting idea.
Another good way to practice natural speaking is shadowing.
Ah, yes. That word appears in many language conversations.
Yes, shadowing means listening to a short sentence or audio and repeating it closely after the speaker, so you copy the rhythm, speed, and sound.
Exactly. It helps your mouth feel more comfortable with natural English patterns.
I like shadowing short clips, maybe 10 or 15 seconds.
That is a very good length. If it gets too long, I become a confused echo.
That can happen. Another thing that helps me is repeating one topic many times.
Yes, topic repetition is very powerful. What do you mean by that?
I mean talking about the same topic again and again until the language feels easy. For example, your job, your family, your weekend, your hobbies, your food habits, your hometown.
Oh, that makes sense, because real conversation repeats those topics all the time.
Exactly. If you answer, what do you do, 20 times in different ways, that answer becomes much easier.
I did that once with the topic of weekends.
Really?
Yes. For 1 week, I answered, what did you do this weekend, every day in practice. At first, it felt slow. By the end of the week, it felt much easier.
That is a perfect example. So, repetition is not boring. Repetition creates comfort.
Beautifully said.
Thank you. Sometimes I surprise myself.
Let's talk about speaking partners.
Ah, yes. Everyone wants one.
Yes, but some people wait too long for the perfect partner. They say, I'll start speaking when I find a native speaker, or I need the perfect conversation class, and then they do nothing.
Exactly. But you can practice speaking even alone.
That's important.
Very important. Speaking to yourself is real practice. Voice memos are real practice. Answering questions out loud is real practice. Repeating sentences is real practice.
I think some people feel embarrassed speaking alone.
That is normal, but private embarrassment is a very small price for strong progress.
That is true. Also, if you do have a partner, keep the topic simple and the time clear,
like 15 minutes in English about food, work, and plans.
Yes, short, regular, focused practice is better than long, rare, stressful practice.
That sounds like exercise. Again, many learning habits work that way.
What if the learner says, I don't know what to say?
Then give yourself speaking prompts, like, what did I do today? What do I need to do tomorrow? What did I eat? What made me tired? What am I enjoying these days? What is one thing I want to improve?
Those are great. They are simple, but they lead to real daily English.
I think what am I enjoying these days is a really nice one.
Yes, it creates more personal and natural speaking. Another hard moment is when you forget a word. Very common. The important thing is not to stop completely.
So what should people do?
Use another description. For example, if you forget umbrella, you can say the thing you use when it rains. I love that strategy. It is very useful. It keeps the conversation moving.
So, speaking naturally does not mean knowing every word. It means staying alive in the conversation.
Exactly. That might be one of the best lines today.
Thank you. What about pronunciation? Does natural speaking require perfect pronunciation?
No. Clear pronunciation matters, but perfect pronunciation is not necessary.
That's a relief.
Yes, if people can understand you, that is the most important thing. So again, clear before perfect.
Exactly. I think confidence is also part of natural speaking.
Absolutely. But confidence usually grows after practice, not before it.
That's good. Many learners wait to feel confident before they speak, but usually they need to speak before confidence can grow.
So confidence is not the beginning, it's the result.
Very often, yes. That makes sense. Every time I do something small in English, I trust myself a little more.
Exactly. Small success builds confidence.
Can we make a simple daily speaking plan for our viewers?
Yes, let's do that.
Good. Daily plan, 5 to 10 minutes. Step 1, choose one topic. Step 2, use 2 or 3 sentence patterns. Step 3, speak out loud. Step 4, repeat once with small changes.
Nice. Let's make a real example.
Okay. Topic, morning routine. Pattern 1, I usually. Pattern 2, after that. Pattern 3, if I have time. Then the learner says, I usually wake up at 7. After that, I wash my face and make tea. If I have time, I read for 10 minutes.
That is excellent. Then repeat it with changes. On busy days, I usually wake up at 6:30. After that, I get dressed quickly. If I have time, I answer 1 or 2 messages.
That sounds very trainable.
It is. Speaking is trainable.
I think that is the message people need.
Yes, natural English is not magic. It is repeated contact, useful patterns, and real voice practice.
Before we finish, what is your best advice for daily English conversation practice?
My best advice is do not wait for the perfect time, perfect partner, or perfect confidence. Start with small, daily speaking in your real life.
Mine is keep English close to your day. Talk about your food, your work, your plans, your tired face, your happy moments, your normal life.
That is excellent advice.
Thank you. My normal life gives me enough material, especially the tired face part.
I believe that.
You know, Marco, while we were talking, we used many useful words about speaking naturally in English.
Yes, and these words can really help learners understand the process better.
First word, natural. This means normal, relaxed, and real, not forced.
Yes, very important today. Exactly. We talked about speaking naturally every day. For example, her English sounds natural because she uses simple phrases. Another example is, I want my speaking to feel more natural. You can also say, natural conversation includes short reactions and pauses.
So natural doesn't mean perfect. It means comfortable and real.
Exactly. What makes English sound natural to you?
Short phrases, calm rhythm, and not too much overthinking.
Very good answer.
Next word, pattern. This means a repeated shape or structure.
Another key word today. Yes, we used patterns like I usually and it depends. For example, this pattern helps me answer quickly. Another example is
Good speaking patterns reduce stress. You can also say, I practice one pattern with 5 different answers.
I like patterns because they make speaking feel less random.
Exactly. What speaking pattern do you use most?
Most of the time, I use that a lot.
Great choice.
Erica. Next word. Routine. This means the usual way you do something regularly.
Ah, yes, your favorite kind of word.
One of them, yes. We talked about a daily speaking routine. For example, my English routine takes 10 minutes. Another example is, a simple routine is easier to keep. You can also say, her morning routine includes 5 minutes of speaking practice.
So routine is not boring here. Routine is support.
Exactly. What routine helps you most?
Making coffee and saying a few English sentences before work.
Very practical.
Next phrase, out loud. This means using your real voice, not only thinking silently.
That one matters a lot. It really does. We said learners need to speak out loud, not only study with their eyes. For example, I read the sentence out loud 3 times. Another example is, speaking out loud helps me feel more confident. You can also say, don't only think the answer, say it out loud.
That last one is such a good reminder.
Thank you. When do you speak out loud most often?
When I'm alone, walking or making coffee.
Good practice moments.
Next phrase, chunk. This means a group of words that often stay together.
Ah, yes, a very useful speaking word. Yes, we used examples like let me think and to be honest. For example, learning chunks can make speaking faster. Another example is, this chunk helps me begin my answer. You can also say, chunks are easier to use than single words in real conversation.
That's so true. A chunk feels ready.
Exactly. What chunk do you love most?
It depends. That one saves me many times.
It really does.
Next word, repeat. This means say or do something again.
Another powerful learning word. Yes, we said repetition helps fluency. For example, I repeat one answer in 3 different ways. Another example is, she repeats useful phrases every morning. You can also say, repeat the sentence until it feels easy.
I think learners sometimes avoid repetition because they think it's boring.